afternoon dispatch, and I'm Swati Joshi, where we get you the top story. The focus remains on the protest, its aftermath, politics, and of course showdown from Sadak to Sansad. We have some breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast at the moment. Back-to-back meetings underway amid deadlock. The government is holding a key huddle. There's a key meet underway at the residence of Amit Shah, the Home Minister, and along with J.P. Nadda, Jitendra Singh, Nitin Nabin are also present in this meeting. A key meeting underway at Home Minister's residence. J.P. Nadda, Jitendra Singh and Nitin Nabin are attending this meeting. We'll also try and connect with our reporters to get you more details. The opposition's demand is to have a discussion. And we also heard the speaker say that after the question hour, the discussion can take place on any issue and every angle. But the opposition continued with its sloganeering. There was chaos, ruckus inside the parliament, after which both houses were adjourned. Meanwhile, we're also given to understand that MOSP MU Jitendra Singh is going to be meeting the students, the protesters. CJP has made it clear that they are not willing to go to JP Nadda's residence for a meeting. CJP has said that they are willing to meet at a neutral location. Let's go across. Sabyasachi is getting us more details. Sabyasachi, tell us all about this key meeting which is underway at the Home Minister's residence as we speak.
Well, that's right. This key meeting is happening at the residence of Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah, where J.P. Nadda, Nitin Nabin, as well as Dr. Jitendra Singh, all of them are present in this meeting. Now, this meeting has been called in because of multiple reasons. First, how to counter the opposition narrative that they are trying to create inside and outside the parliament. Secondly, how to break the deadlock as far as the CJP is concerned, because right now, the leaders of the Cockroach Janata Party has clearly refused the request from the central government, because earlier JP Nadda had requested the CJP leaders to come and have a discussion at his residence. But since they have denied the request and they have demanded that the meeting can be held at a neutral venue like the Constitution Club. So what will be the next step of the central government will be decided in this meeting. But this clearly shows that the central government is very much actively pursuing the discussion as far as the students are concerned, because the messaging has straight away come from Prime Minister Narendra Modi that it should not send out a wrong message that the center is against the youth or against the student. The center is very much working for the youth, and every single grievances or problems of them will be addressed at the top level.
Multiple developments, Sabyasachi, taking place. Now, this seems to be turning into a pan-India protest. As far as discussion in Parliament is concerned, the government says we are ready for a discussion. Do not resort to protesting. Let's debate. Let's discuss this in the House. Despite that, we saw ruckus, and both houses, in fact, adjourned till 2 p.m.
Well, that's right. See, both the houses has been suspended, because we saw that when Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, had said that the government is ready to have a discussion. In fact, the Lok Sabha Speaker, Mr. Om Birla, said the government is ready to have a discussion, and it is up to the opposition and the centre to sit together and decide that the duration. But the Congress party, they have been raising that since they had given adjournment motion both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha under Rule 267, they wanted that discussion should take place immediately. But they also wanted that the discussion should not be a short duration; it should be of longer duration, so that all the opposition parties and their leaders can get appropriate time to raise the issues that are concerning to the general public regarding the NEET issue. So clearly, that the one sticking point between the opposition and the centre is regarding the resignation of Union Education Minister, Mr. Dharmendra.
So, Sabyasachi, do stay on with us. Let's do a quick recap for our viewers. Let's take our viewers through the top developments that have taken place since morning so far. So, the deadlock in Parliament continues. There is no end to ruckus. The government has given an assurance that there'll be a debate, there'll be a discussion on the issue, but the deadlock continues. Now, we're also given to understand the government says we are ready to discuss NEET in Parliament, the specific issue that the opposition is demanding, but at the same time, government is telling Vipaksh to not resort to protesting, that protest is not the way. Discussion and debate is the way forward. That's the appeal coming in from the government to the opposition. Protest and politics continues in the capital as well as some parts of India. So this is turning out to be a pan-India protest. Delhi metro services have been hit at key stations. We're given to understand that ministers have met Lok Sabha Speaker to discuss the deadlock, and the government is also going to hold talks with CJP protesters. Earlier, we saw Congress MPs turn up in black clothes. Congress holding a black clothes protest to register, of course, their opposition to the entire issue, the handling of the situation as well. Now, there's a major face-off which has been witnessed in Lok Sabha at around 12 p.m. when the House resumed proceedings after getting adjourned amid massive ruckus and sloganeering. While the government proposed a meaningful discussion urging the opposition to participate rather than disruption, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav fired veiled barbs. He questioned whether a compromise has taken place on the issue. He also emphasized that the fight is for the students and asked the Prime Minister to speak on the matter.
ये मुद्दा कांग्रेस समाजवादी पार्टी बीजेपी का नहीं है, ये मुद्दा युवाओं और छात्र नौजवानों का है। आपने इनको बुलवा दिया क्या? समझौता कर लिया आपने क्या? आपने क्यों नहीं बोलने दिया हमें? अध्यक्ष
आपको मैंने बोलने के लिए कहा, एक मिनट प्लीज।
नहीं, आपने समझौता क्यों कर लिया फिर?
हम लोग का बात अखिलेश जी
नहीं, छात्र नौजवान क्या केवल?
अखिलेश जी एक मिनट।
नहीं अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये पक्ष ठीक नहीं है अध्यक्ष महोदय। ये युवा छात्र नौजवान हम सब पे हैं, हम सब लड़ रहे हैं उनके लिए, हम सब लड़ रहे हैं उनके लिए। छात्रों की नहीं सुनी जाएगी तो सड़कों पे आएंगे। और जो सरकार ने व्यवहार किया है, इस्तीफा तो क्या है? इस्तीफा तो जब चाहेंगे तब मंत्री ले लेंगे, सदन के बाद ले लेंगे। लेकिन सवाल ये जो छात्रों के साथ व्यवहार हुआ है, उनके हाथ तोड़े, सर तोड़ा, उनके कपड़े फाड़े, क्या बेटियों के कपड़े फाड़ेंगे आप? हम और अध्यक्ष महोदय हम मजबूरी में गए हैं प्रधानमंत्री के आवास पर। अगर आप सुन लेते हैं यहाँ पर तो हम नहीं जाते। क्या प्रधानमंत्री स्टेटमेंट नहीं दे सकते हैं? युवाओं के लिए आप बाहर बोल सकते हैं, सदन में क्यों नहीं बोल सकते हैं आप?
अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, 3 दिनों से सरकार की ओर से हमने ऑफर किया हुआ है। मैं औपचारिक तौर पर आज फिर माननीय स्पीकर महोदय आपके साथ से, अब सुनिए ना, आपने बात कहा है तो सुनिए ना। सरकार नीट पेपर लीक का चर्चा के लिए पूरी तरह से तैयार है और हमने पहले दिन से कहा है, जब चर्चा होती है तो किसी नियम के तहत होना पड़ता है और इसका व्यवस्था बनाना पड़ता है। मैं अनुरोध करता हूं कि चर्चा कब होना है, चर्चा का ड्यूरेशन, कितना लंबा चर्चा होना है और किस नियम के तहत होना है। माननीय स्पीकर महोदय, सारे पार्टी के फ्लोर लीडर से बातचीत करके इसका निर्णय किया जाए। सरकार पूरी तरह से नीट पेपर लीक पे चर्चा करने के तैयार है और इस देश के युवाओं को भविष्य के लिए हम सब मिलकर के एक सार्थक चर्चा हो, ये सरकार चाहती है।
माननीय सदस्यगण, अभी प्रश्नकाल है। प्रश्नकाल के अंदर सभी माननीय सदस्यों के जो प्रश्न होते हैं उनको बोलने का अवसर दिया जाता है और ये महत्वपूर्ण और सरकार की जिम्मेदारी भी होती है। इसलिए मेरा आग्रह है, प्रश्नकाल के बाद मैं जिन विषयों पर आपने नोटिस दिया है उन विषयों पर मैं चर्चा कराने को तैयार हूं। जितनी देर, जितने समय आप चर्चा करना चाहेंगे, उपयुक्त समय आपको चर्चा के लिए मिलेगा, लेकिन चर्चा प्रश्नकाल के बाद ही होती है। अगर आप सदन में चर्चा करना चाहते हैं तो आप नोटिस दीजिए, मैं प्रश्नकाल के बाद आपको चर्चा करना की अनुमति प्रदान करने के लिए तैयार हूं। आप अगर सदन नियोजित तरीके से नहीं चलाना चाहते, सदन की मर्यादा को नहीं बनाना चाहते तो सदन की कार्रवाई नहीं चलेगी। सदन आज 12 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित किया जाता है।
The entire nation is paining now. The way in which the government of India brutally deal with the students who are agitating against Dharmendra Pradhan. Sir, one point. मेरा point है sir.
आप तो बताइए, आप चर्चा चाहते हैं?
ऑपोजिशन,
सरकार चर्चा को तैयार है।
सर,
आप पूरी चर्चा में बोलना ना, वेणुगोपाल जी, आप जितना समय चाहोगे
बोलेंगे हम
पूरी चर्चा में
बोलेंगे सर। हम चाहता है हम सर, हमारा डिमांड वेरी क्लियर है Education Minister should be resigned. Then one more. If you accept adjournment motion, पर चर्चा करो sir.
Back-to-back breaking developments here on Times Now. Speaker Om Birla is likely to call all party floor leaders to draw consensus on NEET discussion. We are witnessing a deadlock in Parliament over this issue. The government is giving an assurance of discussion and debate. Ruckus and sloganeering continues. The opposition wants a long-duration debate, not a short one. Meanwhile, we're given to understand to build consensus on the issue, Speaker Om Birla might call all the party floor leaders. So there could be a meeting of all the floor leaders. Let me go across to Sabyasachi for more on that. Sabyasachi, we're given to understand that now the Speaker might call all the floor leaders of the respective parties to build consensus so that a discussion can take place in the Parliament on the NEET issue. Sabyasachi, if you can hear me, tell us about this meeting that we are reporting about. Speaker Om Birla likely to call all party floor leaders to build consensus on NEET discussion.
Well, that's right. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla is likely to call the leader of all the opposition parties and is expected to hold a meeting with them to break the deadlock as far as the Parliament is concerned, because today is the third day we are seeing continuously ruckus that's been happening in both the houses and in Lok Sabha. Mr. Om Birla had called all the have called all the floor leaders to hold a meeting. Now this meeting will focus on breaking the deadlock as far as the opposition and the centre is concerned, because Om Birla today himself said that both the parties have agreed, whether it is a centre or the opposition, both the parties want a discussion on the NEET paper leak issue. So it is up to them to decide the time and the date when they want to have the discussion and up to what time.
The opposition is demanding a discussion. The government says we are willing to have a discussion in the Parliament. Then the question, of course, is everybody who's watching will ask, why is there ruckus? Why don't we see the discussion happening in Sansad? Sabyasachi, stay on with us. We have more breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. We're given to understand that the government has kept the communication channel open with CJP, and ministers, in fact, are ready to meet CJP protesters. But CJP has now taken a stand that they won't go to J.P. Nadda's residence. They're willing to engage at a neutral location or at Jantar Mantar. So CJP says if the government wants to talk to us, then we're willing to engage at Jantar Mantar or at a neutral location like Constitution Club. Let's go across to Kritika, who's getting us more details. Kritika, the earlier meeting did take place at J.P. Nadda's residence. Now CJP says they are not willing to go to J.P. Nadda's residence. They want to engage with the representatives of the government either at Jantar Mantar or a neutral location like the Constitution Club.
So I think when we questioned the leadership of the CJP, they had to say that last time when they met J.P. Nadda at his residence, a lot of their time was wasted. That 2 hours were wasted in waiting for him. The meeting lasted for some 10-15 minutes, and that was not. And that time, the CJP says, could have better been utilized by them in order to control the protesters, the crowd that was swelling up. So this has been an explanation that has been coming in from the CJP as of the moment, and they've suggested that they would also understand what would be ideal for them is if the leadership from the government, the representations from the government speaks to them at Jantar Mantar, and he's assured that people there are rational and educated and would not, in fact, indulge in any untoward activity. But of course, that has been another part of, that has also raised a lot of questions, specifically since we're seeing members of the press continuously be heckled and, in fact, physically harmed at these protests as well. So now what the CJP is suggesting
So is there any outreach now post this stand taken by CJP? What are we picking up? Is there going to be a meeting now at a neutral venue or at Jantar Mantar? The government says they are willing to have a conversation both inside and outside the Parliament.
So I think on both the ends, we're sort of understanding that the government has sent the message that they're willing to initiate dialogue. And now the CJP also says that they're also open for dialogue, and what CJP has suggested is a neutral location like that of Constitution Club. Their caveat is that they would not be meeting at any minister's residence. Now, is that going to be something that the government, in fact, heeds to, is going to be a matter of question and a matter of and the update that we will look forward to? Because again, remember how yesterday, when Rahul Gandhi had come back to the government with another set of demands, we'd seen the conversations, in fact, collapse as well. Over to you.
All right, Kritika, keep tracking all the developments and also stay safe out there. Now, the reporters who were getting you all the visuals and the updates of what was transpiring on ground, unfortunately, were targeted for just doing their job. A reporter's microphone should never become a reason to be attacked. That is exactly what happened during the CJP protest in the national capital. 3 Times Network journalists were targeted while carrying out their professional duty. The cameras were rolling, the microphones were on, and they captured the mob turn on our reporters. Times Now reporter Dev Kotak had been on ground for days covering the protests at Delhi's Jantar Mantar. Yesterday, as he made his way to interview CJP spokesperson Saurav Das, the crowd suddenly turned on him. What followed was a relentless assault that saw his phone, watch and glasses snatched. Hear his first-hand account.
This is what happened to him. Completely unfortunate that he was beaten up, thrashed, his clothes have been torn, he's being kicked. You can look at the shoe marks that are there on his shirt. His jeans have been torn, his watch was taken. That's the kind of ridiculous behavior that the CJP protesters are doing with the media. If you physically assault reporters and journalists like this, what exactly are you trying to prove? And aren't you taking away from your very cause? Dev, tell us, what time did this happen? How did this happen?
So I had gone to Jantar Mantar to seek an interview with one of the co-founders, Saurav Das. So while Saurav was speaking on stage, me and my cameraman Rajesh Sharma quietly waited. Because the whole scenario began to get a little more intense, the volunteers suggested that we clear out the place for about an hour and come back when it becomes a little more quiet. Just as we were getting out and going on to the Jantar Mantar garden side, we started getting heckled. Until the time there was slurs, slogan hearing of Godi media, it was fine. But the assault started. There were slaps, there were kicks, there were punches, water bottles thrown.
How many people were there?
A mob of over 100 people.
100 people on you only?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What were those hungry people? What were they so angry about?
They were saying, आप लोग हमारी कहानी नहीं बताते हो, आप बेईमानी करते हो, हमारे भी कुछ लोगों को कल लगा है. So they are upset.
Isn't that ridiculous? Because you were there. You've been here for 22, 23 days. Please tell the viewers how long you've been covering the CJP protest, who all you've interviewed within the CJP, and why would they say something like this? Because you're someone who's been here since day one.
Out of the 3 co-founders, I have interviewed both Saurav Das and Abhijit Dipke, having met both of them on several occasions. The members also know me, but the volunteers were behind the barricade closer to the stage, and I was on an unprotected side where the mob fury was coming onto me. It was a case of mob lynching. They kept hitting me, punching me throughout as I tried to make my way out. More people kept coming. However, some nice people were there in the form of protesters who formed a human shield around me to protect me. But what really happened really shook me to the core. But at that point in time, it was top priority for me to save my life and get out from there alive.
Now, CJP spokesperson Saurav Das put out a post condemning the incident, extending an appeal for peace and calm. But Dev Kotak was not the only target. Earlier, Times Now reporter Shefali and Jyoti Mishra were subjected to intimidation and verbal abuse by protesters while on duty. They found themselves surrounded by an aggressive crowd. Take a look.
निकालने के लिए और मैं सर नीचे कर रही हूँ क्योंकि ये लोग पत्थरबाजी कर रहे हैं। क्या आप पत्रकारों को आवाज नहीं उठाने देंगे? पत्रकारों ने हम जो इनके वाजिब सवाल उठाने आए हैं, मेरे कैमरामैन का हाल देखिए, ये तस्वीरें देखिए इनकी, पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं ये लोग हमारे ऊपर। ये भीड़ है, ये स्टूडेंट्स है, शेम। ये देखिए पुलिस वालों पे पत्थर फेंका जो हमें बचाने के लिए इधर आए हैं। पुलिस वालों पे पत्थर, हम पे पत्थर। शेम ऑन द स्टूडेंट्स। इनका चेहरा देखिए, प्रोटेस्टर्स है, ये न्याय की मांग कर रहे हैं। ये कैसा न्याय है बताइए कि हम इन्हीं की खबर दिखाने के लिए इनके बीच पहुंचे हैं? नहीं सर, हम पत्रकार हैं सर। नहीं सर, पत्रकार हैं। सड़क पर पत्थर देखिए, सड़क पर पत्थर दिख रहा है, हमें सर नीचे रखना पड़ रहा है और पत्थर नहीं मिल रहा है तो पानी की बोतलें सर पर फेंक रहे हैं ये लोग। ये आंदोलन जो है ये कहीं से भी पढ़े लिखे स्टूडेंट्स का आंदोलन नहीं लग रहा है। एक महिला पत्रकार के साथ ऐसा कर सकती है? ये क्रिमिनल्स है। आराम से अरे आइए, आराम से, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा। आइए।
3 journalists, 1 protest and a truth we must confront. Protest is a democratic right, but disagreement does not come with a license to assault. Across the media fraternity, senior journalists have condemned the attack, warning that if reporters cannot work safely in public spaces, it is not just the press under attack, it is an assault on the public's right to know as well. We have some breaking inputs coming in. We're given to understand that there's been a justification of assault on media, and this time again a TMC Neta. Another TMC Neta has justified assault on media. First it was Kalyan Banerjee, now it's Kirti Azad. And Kirti Azad says you should show truth. That's the justification. TMC's Kirti Azad resorts to victim blaming. Earlier you heard Kalyan Banerjee say, "Aap wahan par kyun gaye?" Now Kirti Azad says, "Show truth."
कीर्ति जी, पर बच्चे भी तो हैं जिन्होंने रिपोर्टर्स पे अटैक किया, हमारे एक रिपोर्टर को पीटा, उसको रॉब भी किया, असॉल्ट भी किया। आपको लगता है वो वायलेंस ठीक था?
नहीं, ऐसा कीजिए ना, आप लोग भी सच्चाई दिखा दिया कीजिए, तो फिर कभी कोई आप लोग के ऊपर
नहीं, सच्चाई तो कीर्ति जी उन्हें दिखाने के लिए थे।
So no condemnation, only justification. We have more breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. Mumbai Press Club has condemned attack on media, has called it deeply disturbing, and it's a direct assault on freedom of press. Attempt to intimidate and assault unacceptable. Safety and security of journalists must be protected. That's a statement, a strongly worded condemnation that has come in from Mumbai Press Club. Mumbai Press Club has condemned the attack on journalists and media personnel who were just doing their job, just carrying out their professional duties while covering the protest at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. Unacceptable and this is being condemned by the media fraternity as well, but not by some netas who are justifying violence. Quick break. With that, we have a lot more lined up on the other side.